Hi, everyone. Thank you. All right. I just want to show you one of my projects. This is a Wonder Woman knitted cape. I thought it was appropriate to wear for this summit.
So now we're going to go into the tech session. So our first speaker is Itzel Martinez, who you've already heard a little bit about. She is a software engineer here for the ad buying platform team. She graduated from UC Berkeley with a degree in electrical engineering and computer science. But outside of our company, she's a role model for community engagement. She's the founder of Mentor Room and the Latinas Engineering Leadership Program, which is a virtual mentorship program designed to empower and support Latinas pursuing a career in computer science. She's also a Code 2040 alum and a Hispanic Foundation of Silicon Valley Board Leadership Academy Fellow. And if that's not enough, she currently serves on the advisory boards of 3 different nonprofits committed to increasing access for students who are interested in STEM. So please give Itzel a warm welcome.
Hi everyone, thank you all for being here. As you all know, my name is Itzel. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am a software engineer here at Pandora. Let's start off by giving a warm welcome to everyone. Please turn to the person next to you and give them a high five. Woo, let's get our energy going. Okay. So in the spirit of creating a safe space, I want to go over 3 community rules for this session. Throughout the presentation, I ask that you all be present, empathize with others and their stories, and if something resonates with you, snaps are encouraged. So let me start off by telling you the story of a little girl who had no idea where the future would take her. This little girl was born in Mexico, where she grew up until age 7. And until her family immigrated to the United States. She grew up in a neighborhood in downtown LA, surrounded by poverty and violence, and where she learned to take care of her 8-year-old brother. Ooh. Okay. She grew up in a single-parent household where her mother instilled in her the value of an education. And every night when her mom would come home, she would remind her that the only way, I don't have waterproof makeup, so I shouldn't be crying. And so her mom would always remind her every night that the only way to help her was by doing good in school. And so, luckily, through hard work and her family's sacrifice, she was able to get a full-ride scholarship to attend UC Berkeley. And this is where she found her passion for computer science and graduated as an engineer. As you all might have guessed, this little girl is me. And this is my story, but it is definitely not the only one. There are thousands of other girls that are growing up in communities where technology is a luxury. Kids that are growing up in communities where access to technology is not something that is doable to them. And so I am a dreamer by status and by heart. I am a product of people's generosity that have helped me get an education, programs that have helped me to land opportunities, and strong female role models like my mom who have inspired me every step of the way. So, how is it that I ended up as an engineer? I believe that my curiosity was sparked by one specific moment during my childhood. The moment when I wanted to download my favorite song as a 9-year-old. I'm a believer from Shrek the movie, but I didn't know how to. And so for most of my life, I had to rely on my older brother, who was the only one in my family who knew how to use technology. And so fast forward to the first day on the UC Berkeley campus, everybody was talking about this hot new topic called computer science. And this changed my whole world. Not only had I finally found a way to learn how to use technology, but also how to create it. And it was definitely not easy to pursue a degree in computer science. As many of you know, there are very few women in the STEM fields, and even less women of color. And so it was definitely hard for me to be in a space where almost no one looked like me. Now let's take a look at the number of women who have graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer science over the years. In the early 1980s, the number of women who graduated with a bachelor's degree was at 37%. However, in 1985, that number began to decline to a low of 18% by 2014. Out of those 18% of women, 2.6 were Black or African American women, 2.15% were Asian women, and 1.79% were Hispanic women. It is important to note that this last percentage has stayed flat at an average of 1.7% over the past 20 years. Now, let's look at how this translates to the computing workforce. According to the National Center for Women and Information Technology, or NCWITS, last year, 26% of the women made up the computing workforce. Out of those 26%, 3 were Black or African American women, 5% were Asian, and 1% were Hispanic women. As you see, there's a clear lack of representation of women in the computing workforce, and especially women from my community. This has inspired me to contribute to a solution of exposing and creating opportunities for younger generations. And so earlier this year, I launched an initiative, the Latinas Engineering Leadership Program, which is a 3-month The Latinas Engineering Leadership Program is a 3-month virtual mentorship program that prepares and inspires Latinas who are pursuing a degree in computer science. Our goal is to help our students land a technical internship by the end of their first year in college. We achieve this by hosting a series of 14 workshops, which include Women in Tech guest speaker sessions, mock technical interviews, and a tour of the tech companies in the Silicon Valley. And we are focusing on girls at the college level because according to research by Accenture and Girls Who Code, girls' interest in computing is highly impacted by the number of role models that they have at the college level. Knowing this, we have had 8 guest speaker sessions on women in tech who have shared their experience and advice with our students. We hope that by exposing our fellows to successful Latina engineers, product managers, entrepreneurs, and designers, we can inspire them and retain their interest for technology. Our vision is to help expose 100 Latina students to the world of tech by 2020 through ELLP. Now, meet our fantastic 5 fellows and rising leaders. All of these girls are passionate about making a change in their community, and they hope to have one day their own company or nonprofits. I created this program so that these girls have the community and guidance that I didn't have in college. And knowing this, we have prepared them to enter the tech workforce and diversify the tech industry. As we all know, having diversity is important for many reasons, but here are 3 to remind us why. Having a diverse workforce helps us create better products, attract more talent, and results in a higher financial performance. Not only that, having a company that values diversity helps also women rise. According to a 2018 research report done by Accenture, a woman is 4 times more likely to rise in a company that values diversity. A woman is 3 times more likely to rise in a company that has women in leadership. If a woman is not judged by the way she looks, if she has flexible hours, and if her boundaries are respected, a woman is more likely to rise. When equality is a priority, women rise. And where women are more likely to rise, men are also more likely to rise. And here at Pandora, we are working hard to create a more diverse and inclusive workplace, Of course, there is still work to be done, but these are all of our amazing employee resource groups that are working hard to make everyone feel welcome and included. We have programs like Demo Tape, the Engineering Apprenticeship Program, and the Road Crew Internship Program that are helping us recruit a more diverse workforce, a more diverse talent. And I was actually part of the Road Crew program, and that is how I made my way into Pandora. Thank you. And so by now, many of you may be wondering, so Itzel, what is it that you do here at Pandora? Great question. I am a part of the ad buying platform, also known as Slingshot. Slingshot is one of the core team responsible for 95% of the $1.2 billion in revenue, in ad revenue. And out of Pandora's total revenue, 70% comes from ads. So, I mean, it's no easy task, but I am definitely very lucky to be in this team. I've had the opportunity to work on developing API endpoints that expose our data to internal teams. I've also had the opportunity to work on developing features for our ad management system, which traffics millions of ad orders for our clients. And most currently, I am working on the SoundCloud project, where I will be developing features and the logic needed for our SoundCloud partnership and podcast monetization. I definitely want to acknowledge that I wouldn't be here today without the mentorship and support of my team. I feel extremely lucky to be starting my career in a team that truly cares about growth and about making us feel supported and included. So thank you all. And as I move on to the last part of my presentation, I want to leave you all with 3 tips for how to stay empowered on a daily basis. After all, you are the current and future leaders of the tech industry. Tip number 1 for how to stay empowered is to give yourself daily affirmations. One of the most effective ways that I found for remembering to show myself some love daily is through the use of passwords. For example, I set my passwords to things that will empower me. Affirmations like, you are strong, you are brave, you are fabulous. And secondly, be grateful. Be grateful for all the things that you have in your life. According to research by the UC Berkeley Greater Science Good Center, being grateful activates our brain's reward center. It strengthens our bonds with other people. It helps our metabolism run more smoothly, and it helps us fall asleep more easily. Interesting, right? And last but not least, share your story. Sharing your story can empower you and inspire others, because when you take the time to write about yourself, you realize how far you have come. We've all faced challenges that we've had to overcome, so don't minimize yourself and your story. Be your own inspiration. And now that we have some tools in our toolbox for how to stay empowered, I encourage you all to step up and create change. As a person, my call to action for those of us who are underrepresented in the workforce is that before you leave the summit, make a commitment to be more visible. Share your story. Start by believing in yourself and your ability to make a change. Be a role model for younger generations so that they too can see themselves in the tech industry someday. And now, for allies, we need your help. We need your help in creating a more diverse and inclusive workplace. Change starts with each one of us, but it's amplified by those who support us. My call to action is for you to show up, gather more allies, and advocate for others. Show up to events. Be physically there. Your support means more to us than you know. Gather other allies. As a person with privilege, it is easier for you to advocate for allyship, and so use that to gather people to show up to events. And last but not least, advocate for others. Acknowledge and pay attention to the ideas and opinions of those of us who are underrepresented in the room. Echo our great ideas and attribute them to us. Advocating for others also means noticing when someone who should be standing next to you is not in the room. Please help us create meetings that are representative of everyone so that all of our voices can be heard. Now that we all know how to make a change, each of us can put this into practice. And what a better way than to give back. As CP mentioned, giving back is a great opportunity for you to show yourself as a role model and a leader. Be a guest speaker at events or panels because it allows you to share your story and your experience with others. It also helps you increase your visibility. Secondly, mentor others. If you really want to see the impact that you can have in someone's life, take a moment to mentor others, whether it is at work or outside of work. And last but not least, volunteer. Volunteer for organizations that are solving something that you are passionate about. Volunteering also motivates you to continue being a leader in your community and your workplace. And before I leave, I want to thank all of the women that have come before me, women that have worked hard to create a more inclusive and diverse workplace. I am definitely not the first to walk this path, and I won't be the last. All of these women have worked that are our leaders in the tech industry, and these are all women that I respect and admire. There wasn't enough room on the slide to have everyone that has made an impact in my life, but I do want to acknowledge that they have created a big difference in my life. And as I thank our current leaders, I also want to acknowledge our future leaders by doing a quick activity with you all. So if y'all can follow along, please stand up if you aspire to hold an executive position someday. Ooh, yes. Okay, take a look around the room and please stay standing. Okay, now please stand up if you are leading a team, whether it's at work, at your community, or at home. You are already leading a team. Okay, now please stand up if you aspire to be a leader. Wow. As you see, these are our current and future leaders of the tech industry. Please give yourself a round of applause. And last but not least, I want to thank you all for allowing me to share my story. It has truly been an honor to stand here in front of so many amazing women. And to close off, I would like for all of you to follow along in helping me recite a poem that has continuously inspired me to keep going, to never give up, and to let my light shine. If you can all follow along with me, let's start at the first line, and this will be the way that we end. Are y'all ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. We are all meant to shine. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you, everyone.